Hey, record. All right. What's up, everybody? We are coming to you guys, not live, but from EEC. This is our old stomping grounds. They opened the doors for us so that we could record this conversation for you guys. What we wanted to do is we wanted to give you guys sermons and worship clips, but we also wanted you guys to have conversational pieces as well as we try to navigate and figure out what to do, how to think, how to pray, how to respond in the season that we're in. And so we're just going to have like a real candid conversation with some Perazim family. We got a guest in the building. We got Jay here as well.
Shout out. I'm extended family, though.
Yes, sir. So, let's just start here. How has all of this been for you guys? Like, what's... for me, it all started off as a joke. I thought this wasn't going anywhere, and then out of nowhere, it got super serious. Yeah. And but I think I'm still processing. Somebody just texted me earlier today, and they're just like, "Man, I just appreciate how you're not stressing out." And I was like, "Maybe I haven't really thought about it. That's why I'm not stressing out." But there's no stress doesn't add to our life either. But what's kind of been the journey for you guys in unraveling the reality that we're in right now?
You want to go right to left?
Yeah, the ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So, honestly, it feels like a movie. It's crazy to sort of see all of this happen so fast, like you said. I think it really hit me when, so I'm a student at the University of Minnesota, and when they canceled classes or turned them into virtual classes and then postponed graduation, I kind of realized, all right, this is going to be our reality for a little bit. I think that was earlier this week, or maybe last week. I forget when they announced it.
Last week.
It was last week. So it's been, just an adjustment to life. I think something that's been like distracting me has sort of been the economic impact that's happening. It's pretty obvious right now. As a person that's about to graduate and start working, I think that's a real concern right now. I'm feeling very privileged to be in the industry that I'm in, so healthcare. But I know that like almost everyone is being impacted in some way, and so I just kind of have this like burden for a lot of my friends and family who are experiencing different hardships right now.
I think in the beginning it wasn't that deep for me. I was like, oh, it's a virus. It'll go around. We'll find a vaccine.
Yeah, you went to Florida.
Yeah. Before any of this became serious, I went to Florida. Spring break was just like the week before. It was announced that like borders would be closing and stuff, like out of Europe and things like that. I actually, on my way back, flew from Florida to Chicago, and landing in Chicago, trending was like the announcement that the borders were closing. So like just in time, not that we were going out of the country or anything, but just in time where it like really started getting serious. So that worked out for me, but also I still went to Florida and stuff. So yeah. You know,
Like $50 tickets. I'm there.
like
Round trip.
it's like $40 to LA and stuff. It was like quick and like just one thing after another. This like last 2 weeks though, that I just didn't expect, and it just like the classes stuff being canceled. I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. I can do this. Like graduation's postponed. That kind of sucks. Dang. Okay, that's a little real. And then. Like, a lot of my friends are international students, and so they've been leaving just, like, abruptly, which is, like, it sucked just because we made plans, or, like, we just didn't think our, like, time together would end that, like, quick or, like, that soon. And so for them to 1 week literally be like, oh, we're going to do this in April, and to go to, like, we're leaving tomorrow, like, back home to England and Spain and wherever, like, okay, well, all right, we gotta do what we gotta do, I guess. And so, yeah, the speed of it has just been, like, I don't know, abrupt, unexpected, and that's what's been getting me, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think similar to everybody. Like, it was just kind of something that was happening. because it wasn't close to home. So just like, you know, oh, there's a war happening in so and so, or this happened, and the
Right.
president sent this to happen in such and such. And you're like, oh dang, like this is happening in China. That's really crazy.
Right.
And then you kind of go back to regular life.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
when it was like, oh, it's cases in Florida or New York, I was like, oh wow, but it's not where I am.
Yeah.
And then it was when it kind of came closer and closer, I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
all right. And I think one thing that I recognize is that I got annoyed by hearing about it so much, but I think it was because I was afraid to kind of face like what I was actually thinking about it. Because then actually like seeing how serious it is, and seeing that it was like getting closer and like stuff is getting shut down and people I knew either lost their job or
Yeah.
like had to work from home, and I'm like, yo, this is getting kind of serious.
Yeah.
But I think like now it's kind of just, I don't know. It's kind of weird just because it's becoming normal. Like, yep, haven't been
Yeah.
outside today. Like, but that's kind of like it's gonna be like that for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely weird how this is like. Even I was thinking the other day, like kids that are like 3, 4, 5, like their first like couple memories are gonna be like them like being inside the house or like
Right.
it's
Right.
past 4 or 5 o'clock and we gotta get inside, make sure we have toilet paper and this. And we gotta ration out. You know what I mean? Like we're at
Yeah.
war or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like once it kind of like hit home, literally, it kind of it hit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
Wow. Yeah, all of that is hard to follow up with. So I'm just gonna. No, I'm playing. I think for me, I've been very introspective. I would say because I already try to limit my time on social media. So yeah, he's laughing because he always tells me like I need to be present on social media. But anywho, I think that it kind of like I was out of the loop with everything. You know, I heard so many crazy things. I was like, who's eating bats? I don't eat bats. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm straight. You know what I mean? I've never had a bat to this day. Don't plan on it. But, so I was just kind of thinking, like, people were trolling. And then I was like, wow, a lot of people are dying as I began to look into things. And then I was like, I'm not going to go on CNN because I feel like they overemphasize things and they embellish a lot of the truths that we come to know as day-to-day Americans. But then when I began to look that there was a case in St. Paul, which ironically we're in St. Paul right now, not saying anything, but that and then to just see like my boss was telling me like, oh, you guys got a week paid off. I was like, what? Cool. Just like you guys said, I was definitely like, yep, I need this time, tired of going to work anyway. And then when I think it really became real to me just the other day, when I really began to see the drastic effects of people dying, like the people, 800 people died in Italy yesterday. That's just in one day alone. It's like, wow, that is, that the mortality rate we thought was super low, here in the U.S., which, prayerfully it does stay pretty low. But I think those types of things made it more significant. In doing so, I think I also, I had to check myself too because I went into panic mode too. And I'm like, man, we have something greater on the inside. And I think this has really shown me how temporary life is, how we get so engulfed in this physical experience, but we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. So I think that's what I've been reflecting on over the last 48 hours. And in my time of prayer, I just definitely have been more conscientious of that. Is like, you know what? I don't need to get too consumed in this because we live in a fallen world, so we can't take so much security in being here because things are always subject to change. So that's kind of where my focus has shifted to now.